Excellency, Lynn McDonald, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to You Raise Me Up Charity Concert 2019, put together by the Canadian Alumni Network Singapore, CANSG, and the Private Museum. I'm so excited to be here with all of you. Think about this. It's the eve of National Day, the bicentennial, and it's an extra long weekend, and you want to come here and spend time with me. I don't think that's the case. We're going to have a fantastic evening. Thank you for coming out to support the CCF and this fantastic event. Let me introduce myself. For those who don't know me, my name is Michael Chan. And that's Chan, C-H-A-N, and that's important, because just like an Avenger movie, at the end, it's going to have an effect. So that's Chan. I'm the president of Canadian Alumni Network Singapore, and co-chair of tonight's event with Mr. Daniel Teal. For those who do know me, I know what you're thinking. What the heck is he doing up there? He doesn't have a musical bone in his body. Having said that, at my age, I'm learning to play the guitar now. So I will gladly accept any free volunteer lessons at any time. Just give me a call. Well, you see, I got stuck doing this because, let me teach you something. If there's a project meeting and you don't show up, this is what happens. You get volunteered to become the MC. So make sure you know what to do next time when you're one of these important projects. Let me tell you a little about the Canadian Alumni Network. It was formed by a volunteer group of Colombo Plan scholars almost about 40 years ago. The chairman, Tan Kwang Ching, sitting right here in front of me, former permanent secretary of Home Affairs, and many other senior roles, is in the audience. For those youngsters like me who don't know who he is, use the Google machine, figure it out. Another Colombo Plan scholar is Mr. Lim Su Ping. Former Auditor General is here with us with his lovely wife. Mr. Su Ping, can you quick stand up, please? Another Colombo Plan scholar, Kwang Wah, couldn't make it tonight. He's hosting the RI, Raffle Institutional Annual Dinner. These gentlemen all studied in Canada. That's about the only thing I have in common with them. Nothing else. They're all successful, smart guys who built this country. Thank you very much. I would also like to say how brave they are. Think about this. They voluntarily chose to go from a warm, balmy Singapore climate to freezing country to live and study for what, 3-4 years? That is crazy. Myself, I grew up in Montreal, Canada. It's minus 40 degrees in winter. That's on a warm day. When I arrived in Singapore 10 years ago, I said, this is where I want to be, and I'm staying here. So, a little bit more. The CAN-SG is connected directly with many of the alumni societies in Singapore. The Australian alumni, I think some of the people here, and USS, British, and other countries in the region, Malaysia, Indonesia, and soon Thailand and Vietnam. We have various activities, right? And I hope that all of you will come out to participate. Specifically, there's the Private Museum Golf Tournament in September, so please come and support. 2 months after that, the Canadian Alumni Network has another golf tournament in November. So please make sure you come and support that for a good cause. Now, let me tell you about how Canada SG and myself got involved with this. I'm sure you're wondering, why is he up here? About a year ago, Daniel and I was on another business project. A few months ago, he said Ryan was coming to Singapore to do a charity concert and invited me to join the planning committee. I said, what a great opportunity to give back to the community. So my team at CAN-SG and I said, definitely. Daniel, thank you for the opportunity to partner with you and the Private Museum on this. Now, I have to confess, I'm probably one of the few people in Singapore who didn't know who Daniel and Soon Kim were when I first met them. Daniel, an architect, property developer, and a patron of the arts. Soon Kim, a Singaporean ballerina, first Asian to be admitted to the Australian Ballet School, co-founder of the Singapore Dance Theatre. The list of accomplishments are too long to mention here. Again, go home and use the Google machine. I do want to say one more thing that wasn't on my script, like many things I'm saying now. Daniel and Soon Kim just celebrated their 50th wedding anniversary. Please, please, please give them a round of applause. And Daniel, you set the bar so high for your celebration by renting out the Chimes Hall that all the other guys in the room here are in trouble, okay? Back to the program. I'm delighted to be here to invite you for the enchanting evening of classical music featuring special performances by musical prodigy Ryan Wang, Samantha, Musicians Initiative, MI, that's a pretty cool initiative, initials, and Alvin. I'm just going to go by the first name because I've been dealing with him the last few weeks. We thank you and your generosity and support in which proceeds and donation will go to the Children's Cancer Foundation, CCF Singapore. Your kindness will make a difference to the lives of children impacted by cancer and their families. Every donation, regardless of size, is significant to us. We'd like to thank our sponsors, our corporate partners, our organizing committee, the volunteers, and their contribution towards this meaningful event. Please support our cause to help more beneficiaries. Fill out a form, donate, online or even at the intermission. We have water that was donated and the program. Please drop a few dollars or 1,000 into the CCF box and pick up a program and a bottle of water. Now, before we commence this evening, may we now put our hands together to welcome Mr. Daniel Teal, co-founder of the Private Museum and co-chair of tonight's event, to deliver his welcome speech. Big round of applause, please.
Good evening, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be here to welcome all of you for a wonderful evening of classical music at the Singapore Chinese Orchestra Hall, which was formerly known as Trade Union Congress Hall. And we are doing this charity concert in aid of the Children Cancer Foundation, presented together with Alumni Network and a few of my very able working committee. I would like to give a special welcome to our guest of honor, High Commissioner of Canada in Singapore, Ms. Ling McDonald, as well as a few other dignitary and special guests. I would also like to say thank you to sponsors like International City Holding, Roxy Pacific, Singapore Pool, Titan Land, and Tongeng Group, as well as our corporate partners and organizing committee for helping to bring together tonight's charity concert show. To everyone that make a donation, no matter how big or how small, your kindness and generosity will go a long way in helping those impacted by cancer, and we are very grateful. The Children Cancer Foundation provides much needed support to children with cancer and their family in their battles against the life-threatening illness. Since 1992, the Children Cancer Foundation have helped more than 3,000 families at different stages of illness and recovery, and I have a pleasure to work with them on few occasions. 100% of the proceeds from this evening will be donated to Children Cancer Foundation to help them provide programs and services such as their back-to-school services, financial assistance services for affected children, and many, many more. The integrated hospital community home service adopted by the CCF provide vital support to those who need it most, and your donation from this evening will help to continue this amazing work. We are delighted to have musical protege 11-year-old Ryan Wang performing for us this evening. Ryan has won first place and judges distinction in American Protege International Music Talent Competition, as well as awarded an Emerging Artist Grant from the Vancouver Academy of Music. We also welcome the exceptionally talented young 13-year-old singer Samantha Permata Shreya, which has sang twice at Carnegie Hall, and Musician Initiative Orchestra, led by Alvin Seville Aramugan. And they have been working very hard and had 2 rehearsals near our private museum, and twice here and next door. So I have no doubt that everyone in attendance will enjoy the enchanting musical performance this evening. It is my pleasure now to invite our guest of honor, Her Excellency Miss Lynn McDonald, High Commissioner, on stage to deliver her welcome address. Please put up your hands and together we welcome her.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, bonsoir. I realize that I'm the third speaker and also the only thing standing between you and the wonderful performance we're about to hear, so I will keep my message quite short. Let me say what an honor it is to be here this evening on the eve of Singapore's National Day to hear these spectacular young performers. As with the other speakers before me, I know what amount of work it goes into put together a concert such as this. So thank you very much to the organizing committee, sponsors, donors, and to all of you in the audience for coming out this evening in support of the Concert for the Children's Cancer Foundation. I'd also like to thank the performers, as has been mentioned, Ryan, Samantha, Alvin, and the Musicians Initiative. Now, if I asked all of you to think of perhaps one word that comes to mind when you think of Canada, I'm sure there'd be a range of different answers. Some might think of our spectacular natural beauty, maybe the diversity of our country, so much like Singapore in that regard. Maybe winter sports, some of you might have skied at Whistler, salmon fishing, polar bears, northern lights. But tonight I just wanted to mention 2 things, or bring 2 things to your attention. One is a mention of word about our world-class education system. We have, over many years, built up ties between Canada and Singapore through the means of education. The legacy of our wonderful Colombo Plan scholars, as Michael mentioned, and I know there's a few more sitting in the audience who weren't specifically mentioned earlier, but please know that Canada really welcomes and supports the work that you continue to do to build the links between our 2 countries. We have lots of great education exchanges going on, research between our universities. NUS has a new overseas college at the University of Toronto, and we think these education ties are what really provide such a wonderful, strong, and growing link between our 2 nations. The second thing I'll mention is about the rich cultural diversity that Canada enjoys. We're a country of First Nations people as well as immigrants, and in this regard we have a lot to share and exchange with Singapore. In the few years I've been here, we've welcomed First Nations performers, playwrights, chefs, authors, musicians, dancers, and many others to Singapore, and I look forward to that continuing so that even though we're geographically distanced, you get a taste of what the country I'm so proud to represent has to offer. And of course that leads me to this evening where we have Brian Wang here to showcase his wonderful musical talents and share those with all of you, as well as to enjoy the Singaporean performer Samantha and the Musicians Initiative. So with that, may I thank you again for joining us this evening, for your support to the Children's Cancer Foundation, and please, if you'd like to know more about Canada, maybe to come and study in our country or to visit, please reach out to us at the Canadian High Commission or follow us on social media. And thank you again for joining us. Merci beaucoup, and enjoy the concert.
Thank you. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Daniel. I know I'm not backed by popular demand, so bear with me here. While they take the seats. Fabulous. I have another page to go, but Daniel's done a fantastic job in summarizing the accomplishment by Ryan and Samantha. So, just quickly, Ryan, at the age of 4, is it 5? He's backstage. Was on Ellen's DeGeneres. I don't know if you watch that show, but it's kind of a cute little show. So he's been playing the piano since. Samantha is also another amazing artist. Both of them are teenagers, and let me tell you, man, at that age, the only musical instrument I played was the radio. I was hoping to get more laughs than that, but we'll stop there. Having said that, so I'm going to make it short. Let me see. There's going to be I know it's going to be pretty amazing. There's a 40-piece orchestra that's going to show up in a few minutes. Okay, well, after this performance here, after Ryan's performance, and they'll be led by Alvin Seville Aramugam, and it's going to be very, very exciting. So, again, I just want to remind you, please help support CCF, donate at the intermission. There's also a website that's put up. It's going to be up for 4 more weeks after today. So when you feel like donating the next couple of weeks, just get online, get off YouTube for a minute, and donate some money. You could do it more than once, nobody's going to stop you. So with that, to make it short, please put your hands together to welcome our performers for tonight. Thank you.